What's up, Ramley? Welcome back to the Ram Skinny here on the LAFB network. We are Los Angeles Sports. This is your daily dose of Los Angeles Rams news and training camp updates. Football is officially back. Skinny T will be at LMU for Rams camp all off season long. Today was the first day of media availability, and one Kyren Williams spoke to the media. He's on the last year of his deal after having back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. Talk of the town. We've talked about it a bunch, so we won't go into the long and skinny of it, if you will, but we will give you, I guess we'll give you the skinny of it, at least what happened today as he spoke to the media. So Skinny, we'll just jump right into it. Kyren spoke to the media. Like, just what was the vibe? Did he seem kind of like off put? Because we see all these guys holding out. We see what's going on with the Dallas Cowboys and Marcus Parsons. We see what's going on with Trey Hendrickson down in Florida, not even in the state of Ohio with the Cincinnati Bengals. There was talks maybe Kyren Williams would hold in, but what was his vibe like today with the media?
The first glimpse that we got of him, he was on a scooter and he was simultaneously with his kind of airplane luggage roller bag alongside of it, steering both. And he gave us a big howdy, what's up from his scooter on his way in. And then when he hit the podium, he was on fire, man. The guy's ready to play football. And complete opposite of the rest of those situations out there. There is no ill feelings. He is fired up and ready to go. He says he's going to be at practice regardless of what happens. So there's no holding. That is right out. He's going to be on the field and fully participating.
Love it. I mean, I think what, and I don't know if anyone thinks of this based on this. I think we both love Kyler and what he brings. We just talked on do we think the Rams will actually extend him, which we'll speak on a little bit. But what I've loved about Kyren in the 3 years that he's been a Ram is he's always been like that attitude. Like how many times has he said whatever Coach McVay wants me to do, I'll do. If he wants me to block, if he wants me to run, catch passes, whatever, I'll do. So he's always wanted to just be involved any way he can, help the team. And this is obviously no different. Now, they are set, the Rams, that is, to meet with his agent, Drew Rosenhaus, tomorrow. Drew Rosenhaus, many of you know, is one of the most powerful sports agents in all of sports. So he will be driving for the highest contract he can get. We've talked a bunch that we don't think the Rams will give him that kind of money, but we will see how it all plays out. First and foremost, Skinny, if I'm Drew Rosenhaus, I'm telling Kyren, stay off that scooter. You are nowhere near a scooter right now. If you take a slip and fall, that contract's going out the window.
Yeah, the LMU campus isn't big at all.
Tiny,
it's pretty small. But all these guys have some sort of motorized conveyance to get from the building that's maybe a half a mile away from the practice facility.
Yeah, Puka had a go-kart.
Puka pulled up in a go-kart made by Segway, and I didn't see it because it's about 2 feet tall.
Yeah,
and I see Puka. It's kind of appear out of nowhere, and I see the cart, and I was like, "Did Puka pull up in that?" And he was like, "Yep."
It literally looked like Mario Kart.
Yeah, 100%. So they're just big kids at the end of the day.
Yeah. Which I get, but it's just funny because Irvine is a big campus where they used to be. Irvine is a pretty massive, spread out campus, so those make sense. LMU, it's beautiful, but it's like a high school campus. You don't it takes you probably 5 minutes to walk across the entire campus, maybe 10. So anyway, if I was his agent, I'd be like, Kyren, you're nothing on wheels. All right. We're not getting any injuries, nicks, and stuff during this contract negotiation. Go ahead.
Yeah. He also let something slip in his interview that I think his agent is going to talk to him about. And he basically said he'll play on his current deal. He's going to practice on his current deal. And he said he might even play on his current deal. If the deal doesn't get done, he's going to be a Ram this year because he's under contract and he's going to play on that. And, at least you got to hold out at least the idea that you might not get on the field.
This is what's always so interesting about contract negotiations. And I think I don't want to say all players, but a good majority of players, I think it's when you see these holdouts, when you see just these kind of back and forth and all of a sudden awkward situations, it's typically the agent driving that happening. Most of these players are I want to play. I love my teammates. I want to be there for my team. I am under contract this year, but typically it's the agent saying like, no, like we need to have the upper hand here. And if you're going to do everything they want, they're not going to give you what you want or what I want, being the agent. And so, yeah, it's funny that he said that because I think a lot of players would typically do that. But I think their agents instruct him like, no, like you don't say any of this, like, cause that shows weakness. Like you got to be like, you have the upper hand. So, but I mean, I think a lot of fans get this bad taste in their mouths about players and how this goes down, which I get, but I think a lot of it is actually the agent doing it, not the player at all. So just a little tidbit for fans to think about.
Yeah, it's definitely driving the agents get 3 to 10%, their commission. So
Yeah.
the bigger their contract, the bigger the agent taking home as well. And one of the things that Kyren is truly passionate about is taking care of his family.
Yeah.
He mentioned that on more than one occasion. And, he says he's got 10 cousins that he's thinking about. And he said, I want to send them to a place like this. And he was referring to LMU, private university in California. Is not cheap.
No.
And, he's playing on a contract that's less than $4 million, obviously other bonuses. And when you break it down, you take out the taxes and the fees for the agents and publicists and whomever, and you're living in California, you're paying, $10,000 in rent. Let's say you buy a car, you're not, you don't got a lot of money after that.
Yeah.
And so,
goes quick.
As much as I'm rooting for, Kyren to get a deal, I want him to get the best deal. Cause he's got 10 cousins and a mom, and he listed off a whole bunch of people he's trying to take care of with this. And that's, a lot of these guys are fighting for bigger things, not just a contract for themselves, but, taking care of their family, setting up generational wealth for their kids, yep. or even just taking care of other players who are coming up after them, where, the big conversation was guaranteed money for a lot of these second yep. rounders. And I mean, look across other sports, guaranteed money is not a conversation because it's already built in.
Yeah.
And so, obviously that's a whole other conversation, but, Kyren's taking care of his business. And it sounds like they're going to get him a good contract. And from what McVay's been saying is, one, he's so thankful that he's got a guy like Kyren on the field. Mm-hmm. Now, like he's grateful that Kyren isn't throwing a fit about this. He's not holding in. He's not holding out. So the wheels are in motion. Meeting tomorrow. We'll see where it comes out. But I think the ask is big, and McVay called it a puzzle. They're trying to fit together this puzzle, and if the piece is too big, it doesn't fit in the puzzle anymore. So I don't think anything is set in stone. I don't think anything is. We can't take Kyren Williams for granted, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll see how it plays out. I think, when you look, because when you think of running backs, like this is kind of their one shot for a big contract. You're not going to get a third. You get your rookie deal, then as a running back, you get like one more shot, and then that's kind of it. Now the outliers obviously are Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry and some of those, but the majority is like the second deal is it, and then after that, like you kind of get scraps, year deals after and whatnot. So for him, it'll be interesting. So we talked about whatever it was 2 weeks ago about, hey, his agent, Drew and I was talking about, hey, he wants to be one of the top paid guys in that kind of, what we say, 13 to 15 million per year average, which would put him as like the third or fourth highest paid running back. And you and I were like, based on just the way the Rams operate, it's probably going to be more in that 9-10 max. So it'll be interesting to see the negotiation. Now, last thing I'll say, and then we'll end this and move on to our next video. We'll do Alaric Jackson. Saquon Barkley currently has the highest average per year. His total contract value is $41 million. His total guaranteed is $36 million. So pretty close to fully guaranteed. But then you have Chris McCaffrey, $38 million, but his total guarantee is only $24 million. So just over half of it's guaranteed, like 60% guaranteed, 40% not guaranteed. And you can go down the list of that. So Jonathan Taylor, another example, $42 million total value, one of the highest ones, only $26 million total guaranteed. So if I was Kyren Williams' agent, just kind of seeing that. I'm not an agent by any means, and I don't even want to pretend to be able to look at numbers or whatever. But for me, I would be going to him and saying, hey, we're going to try to get you a deal that is not the highest average per year. It'll be less on that, but we'll just try to get as much fully guaranteed. So if you're only going to get 10 per year, let's just make that fully. So if it's a 3-year, $30 million deal, $30 million guaranteed, guess what? You're making 5 more guaranteed than Derrick Henry or Christian McCaffrey. So I ramble a lot of numbers, which I hate doing because I don't know, but that's what I think if they get a deal done, if the Rams and Kyren Williams get a deal done, in my opinion, I think it'll be a less per year average, more guaranteed average. I don't think he's going to get this like 14, 15 million per year kind of thing. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I'm of two minds about it because I think that, from what I know about the Rams, or what I think I know about the Rams at the very least, they're not paying running backs. They haven't, you know.
Since Todd Gurley, they have not.
Yeah. But Kyren Williams has a good case to be made where his usage has been off the charts. 888 snaps last year that he played, most among any running back in the league. I've mentioned before how he's used as a passer, or used as a pass blocker. Obviously, his chops in the running game, we've all seen that. I asked him about his usage, and he, was basically kind of intimated that it wasn't the plan heading into the season, but that he gives us his kind of standard line, which is, I'm just glad to be on the field. I'm going to do whatever I can possibly do. And he wants even more usage. He said, put me in the slot, coach. He wants to be a receiver, which is what we've been pounding the table for. He was put in the slot 22 times last season, so just a little bit more than once per game in his 18 games that he played, and was only targeted once. So,
got to get more receptions.
But, looking at Blake Corum and Jarquez Hunter on the team, you got to think that they don't want to put one guy out there for 888 snaps. That's like almost, that's more than some offensive linemen play per year.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ins and outs and what have yous in this negotiation, that none of which are solidified right now.
Yeah, going to be fascinating to see how it plays out. Let's end with this. They're meeting tomorrow. I'm going to hopefully I'll meeting on Wednesday, depending when I publish this. It'll be either early Wednesday or late Tuesday night. In your opinion, do you think an extension gets done before the season starts?
I'm going to say yes, because as much as Drew Rosenhaus is who he is, Kyren Williams is who he is as well, and I think he's a loyal Ram. I think he will reach a compromise, and I think he will meet what the Rams want.
Yeah. I think I agree with that. When we did our Kyren show last time 2 weeks ago, I don't know if we both did, but I for sure said I don't think a deal gets done. I think Kyren plays out this year, goes to free agency, because I just don't think the Rams extend. It's not that I don't think they don't extend running backs. But I just and it's one press conference, but I am starting to think, like, you know what? I think he's gonna be one of those guys that takes the hometown discount. Like, he will be that type of player. It's like, yeah, I want to stay here. I want to be a Ram. I don't want to go test the market, which is so futile for running backs anyway. How many running backs do we see test the market and end up making less than they could have gotten from their original team? Happens all the time. Like, literally, outside of Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley, and Derrick Henry, most running backs end up getting like less when they hit the market. So, yeah,
we saw how the league views him kind of in a snapshot anyway, just a small polling of some executive scouts and coaches. Not even in the top 10. Was he an honorable mention? No, he wasn't even an honorable mention in that ESPN poll.
Which is wild.
Yeah. So the perception, if that's any indication whatsoever, it's like he's not going to get paid elsewhere either. And McVay builds this ecosystem that just fosters talent in a way that other places don't. And we've seen it from Jimmy Garoppolo to Davante Adams. Like, they love that ecosystem, and Kyren Williams wouldn't be treated the same outside of LA.
Yeah. Well, let's get it done for training camp. We got a month, baby. See Kyren in horns for years to come. That's the latest update from Rams training camp. We'll be back. Make sure to tune into our next video, which may just be dropping immediately after. A quick Alaric Jackson update as he battles blood clots and attempts to get back on the field before the season starts. That's Skinny T. I'm Ryan Dyer. Keep it right here on the Rams LAFB YouTube channel.